Hello everyone, this video is going to focus on threats 1 and 2, although threat 1 is kind of not really a threat, it's more of a, it's occurring, so it's more of, happening, so it's not really a threat anymore, it's actually happening. This map here is radar courtesy of weather.com, this is not mine, this is weather.com's radar here. I'm just showing you what the snow looks like right now. Your area of low pressure is right over here, centered across northwestern Iowa and southwestern Minnesota. So your area of low pressure is here, so you have warmer air on the southern side and eastern side of that, and on the back side you have colder air, so that's where you're getting your snow. This thing is picking up moisture from the Great Lakes, so you kind of see how the snow is kind of shifting this way here. It's shifting up north here, so it's taking in moisture from the Great Lakes here, and that creates more of like a lake effect sort of snow. It's also far enough south right now where it might also be taking in some Gulf moisture, but probably not too much. I think its primary source of moisture is going to be from the Great Lakes for the progression of the next 24 hours as it moves northward, because it's going to start moving northward. But you've got bands of really heavy, pretty heavy snow here from northwestern Wisconsin extending back through central Minnesota, just north and west of Minneapolis and St. Paul, back southwest across Minnesota. That would be south of Millbank. You're just to the south. Sioux Falls, you're kind of getting some snow right now. You're on this eastern fringe of that. Then look at the extent of this snow band, though. Look at how far south this goes. This goes all the way back into southwestern Nebraska, northwestern Kansas, and northeastern Colorado. Look at all this. Now, I do think it is picking up some Gulf moisture right now as it's still this far south, so I think that's why there's some heavier snow down here. I think you could pick up an additional 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 in these locations here with this snow band, but it's going to start to weaken a little bit as the storm moves farther north and it comes into contact with some drier air. Along the whole periphery of the snow band, in some areas we're going to be looking at an additional 3 to 6 or even 6 plus in certain locations up into here, and then an additional 1 to 3 back down into here, because this thing's going to start to track north, so it's going to come into contact with colder air. Drier air down here, you're going to start losing the heavier snow soon, but it'll probably last for definitely a period of a few more hours at least, probably into the evening hours, so you will be getting additional snowfall with that. Okay, so let's take a look at, I guess we'll use the American model for this. All the models are pretty keen on this, so I'm not really going to go through the solutions of the different models. They all take the storm farther north, so they're pretty much in sync here, but this is your piece of energy currently. This is where it's sitting. It's sitting over the Midwest and the Plain States here. Your area of low pressure, again, is right there, just over the northwestern portion of Iowa, southern Minnesota. Wait, that's not Minnesota. Hold on. I don't know my map. South Dakota. Oh, dear. I need to learn my states, don't I? Anyway, so your area of low pressure is sitting back in here. It has winds wrapping around it, so it's pulling colder air down. So that's why you're getting snow on the northern and western side. Warmer air is coming up over here as well. So you get rain on the eastern and southern side of that. Now what this storm is going to start to do as it moves northeast, and I'll show you, this is on the American model here. This is where it is now. Alright, so if you zoom in a little bit. Okay, here we go. You can see that you have a southerly flow bringing in warmer air. However, since this low is pretty potent, it's going to start to drag cold air down and wrap the cold air around it. So this is what starts to happen. Instead of having rain on the southern side, you might get some wintry precipitation as well as this moves northward. So you might start getting snow on the back end of this, snow on the southern side, and if any precipitation is on the eastern side, you might start out as rain and turn to snow as well. Further south, when this is going to be bringing precipitation into this area here, southern New England, northern Mid-Atlantic, you're going to be too warm. Okay, you're going to have mainly rain, but I think you could definitely end as a wintry mix or snow showers, perhaps. This is going to be too far north to bring you potent precipitation. but definitely some showers, and possibly ending as a period of snow or wintry mix, probably into Wednesday night or early Thursday morning. So again, I just wanted to point out that this is wrapping around the cold air, so you're going to start, this snow is going to start to pick up. Also, you're dragging in moisture off the Great Lakes here, so you're going to have a very narrow band of heavy snow on the northwestern side here. That's where you're going to get your heaviest accumulation through tonight into tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is your energy right here. This is going to be, now notice it's starting to become negatively tilted. So what starts to happen is it starts to move northeast. Okay, so there, see, it's negatively tilted now. It's shifting. We are at Wednesday during the day now. Alright, and it's shifting over the Great Lakes. And an additional piece of energy comes in behind it, kind of pushing it out, shifting it north. This is kind of guiding it to the northeast now. And then that's going to leave. Okay, so that's how it's going to go. So it's going to start over here, going to track northeast across the upper Midwest and the Plain States and exit through the Great Lakes. Okay, so if you look at your precipitation map, for tonight, we're looking at this. This is all snow on the northern and western side. Okay, then as it moves, your snows are going to start to pick up on the northern side here. See that? Ooh, wow, that was actually really good. Hold on. So you see your low is probably up, it's up around here right now. So on the northern side, you're taking in moisture from the Great Lakes. You have a band of heavy snow up in here, across northwestern Michigan, northeastern Minnesota, and into Wisconsin as well. Then that's going to move out. This is the American model, by the way. All right, and you have the southern piece of this, and what the Canadian model is suggesting with this is that you get another wave of low pressure to develop. I'm not really sure about that. The GFS shows precipitation coming in, but even if a low does form on the southern fringe here, it would probably be dragging up Gulf moisture. So again, this would all be showers. This would all be showers, but you could end as a period of snow, but not likely. So that's that. So that's your basic outlook for threat number one. Threat number one. So your snows are going to start. We're here. So your snows are going to end over the midsection here, over Kansas, Nebraska, and northeastern Colorado. Your snows are going to end by this evening, I would say. Going to be moving out later tonight. You'll be dry, and then into this area. Your time frame for this is going to be ongoing from now until tomorrow morning. You're going to get an additional moderate snow accumulation, maybe even heavy in some locations. Then as that moves east, your time frame is going to shift, and I think this the New England would have to watch out for this Thursday into Thursday night, and maybe into Friday. I don't really think it'll be that long, but you'd have to watch out for that Thursday and Friday. Hold on, I think I'm wrong here. Hold on. I'm sorry, this storm is moving quicker than I thought. I apologize. So your threat would actually be Wednesday night into Thursday. My mistake. So, extending back into here into Wednesday morning. This moves north pretty quick. Wednesday during the day up in Michigan, and then Wednesday night into Thursday down into New England. And again, I think this would be showers. So I take back what I said before. It's Wednesday night into Thursday, not Thursday into Friday. So you would be looking at some possible showers, maybe a couple of snow showers in some locations. I think northern New England might be able to pick up a coating to an inch or two of snow if the cold air comes in quick enough, and if this tracks far enough south. Okay. So we'll have to watch that. Now, another thing I'm going to show you here. This is on the SPC Storm Prediction Center website. This is a map of snowfall ratios, and what this does is it takes into account a bunch of different factors: the air temperature, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, the amount of liquid equivalent that would fall. So what we do is we take what we call QPF, your quantitative precipitation forecast. One way that I find my snowfall amounts is by taking that and multiplying it by the snowfall ratio. and you see you have darker red in here. These are higher snowfall ratios, and this is tonight. Your ratios are in excess of 10 to 15, so your heavier snow amounts are going to be up here because it'll take less heavy snow to accumulate as much because it's going to be really cold. And you're looking at higher QPF amounts up here. So your heavier snow is going to be up into northwestern Wisconsin, Michigan, and eastern Minnesota. Your heaviest snow is going to be in this area here. Okay, so take that into account when I show you the snowfall map in a couple of seconds. Your QPF, again, see how it starts to pick up. This is generally a quarter to a half an inch. So if you take 10 to 15, that's about a 3 to 6 inch snowfall, basically, of additional accumulation onto what you already have. And I take that into account with our map. Also, I want to get a map of cities up so I can give you specifics on what cities are getting what accumulations here, so let's do that. Okay. Need a good city map here. Hold on here. Alright, so instead of using an actual city map, I think I'm just going to use the radar from weather.com to tell me what cities we're going to do. Okay, so here we go. We're going to show you the snowfall map. Alright, so in locations, you have eastern Colorado. I know Colorado Springs is in there. You might pick up an additional 1 to 2 inches with the snow band that's down there right now, but I think it's pretty much out for you. Northwestern Kansas, you might pick up an additional 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4, because you have a heavier snow band, again, to remind you. You see, again, you have the heavier snow band here. So Atwood, Scott City, you could pick up an additional... Well, actually, Scott City, you're mainly rain, so I take that back. Atwood, you're going to get an additional 1 to 3, 2 to 4. If that cold air makes it further south, Scott City, I think you could end as a period of snow with that cold air working in behind the storm. So you might pick up a coating to an inch, perhaps. Looking at your snowfall map extending northeast through Nebraska. Lincoln, that snow might make it your way. Not really sure about that. I think it will. So you can pick up an additional 1 to 3. O'Neill, additional 1 to 3. Valentine, the snow has moved out at you. This is all in Nebraska. Moving east, Sioux Falls, you're in the 3 to 6. I think you could pick up an additional 3 to 6. As the low moves to the northeast, it's going to strengthen. It's going to be picking up moisture from the Great Lakes, so that snow band is going to intensify. And in addition, with higher snowfall ratios, Minneapolis 3 to 6. Duluth, you might actually pick up 6 to 8. So then the other thing is as you go further north, I think the northern part of this area here, you're going to be on the higher end of the 3 to 6, additional to what you already have. And I wouldn't be surprised if some locations pick up an additional 7 to 8, but I don't want to overplay that a little bit, so we're going to leave it as 3 to 6 for now, because that's what the forecast models are suggesting. But I believe that when the low goes to the Great Lakes and it's picking up moisture off of the Great Lakes, that snow band can get really heavy. So I wouldn't be surprised if some locations in northwestern Michigan, northern Wisconsin, and eastern Minnesota picked up an additional 6 to 8 rather than 3 to 6. And even if you don't get up to 8, I think you're going to be on the higher end of the 3 to 6. You'll probably get more like an additional 4 to 6, maybe 5 to 7. In locations like Duluth, St. Paul, Minneapolis, you could pick up an additional 4 to 6, I think. And I think I've covered everybody. Okay, so that's your threat number 1. I didn't talk about threat number 2. I've been one video for each threat, I guess. Alright, so threat number 2 is quick, though, so we'll do a short video on that next.